Imagine a perfect memory, a moment of pure, unadulterated joy, perhaps from your childhood, vivid and real. You can smell the air, hear the sounds, feel the emotions. Now, what if I told you that memory, that cherished cornerstone of your past, never actually happened? What if it was meticulously crafted, not by your own mind but by an external force, planted with such precision that it feels undeniably yours? This isn't science fiction. It's the unsettling reality behind a phenomenon so disturbing you might question every foundation of your personal history. To truly grasp the chilling implications of a comforting lie that shouldn't exist, we need to first understand the astonishing plasticity of the human mind, specifically how our memories are formed, and more critically, how they can be altered. For decades, psychologists have known that memory isn't a perfect, immutable recording device. It's a reconstructive process, continually edited and rewritten with each retrieval. Every time you recall an event, your brain doesn't just pull up a static file, it rebuilds that memory, often subtly incorporating new information, context, or even biases from the present. This inherent malleability, while essential for learning and adapting, also leaves a gaping vulnerability. Consider the simple act of eyewitness testimony. Countless studies, including groundbreaking work by Elizabeth Loftus, have demonstrated how easily leading questions or post-event information can distort a witness's recollection of a crime, sometimes with devastating consequences. A witness might genuinely believe they saw a specific detail that was, in fact, suggested to them. Their brain integrates this new information seamlessly, creating a false memory that feels just as real as a genuine one. This isn't about outright deception. It's about the subconscious, organic process of memory construction gone astray. The implications are profound, suggesting that even our most deeply held personal narratives, the stories that define who we are, might be less stable than we'd like to believe. This sets the stage for a far more insidious possibility. What if this natural vulnerability is exploited, not by accident, but by design? What if false memories aren't just an occasional glitch, but a deliberate fabrication, meticulously woven into the fabric of our identity to serve a purpose far beyond our comprehension? This takes us deeper down the rabbit hole, from accidental distortions to deliberate psychological manipulation. Early research into false confessions, for instance, revealed how prolonged interrogation tactics could lead innocent individuals to construct detailed, yet entirely fabricated, memories of crimes they didn't commit. The mind, under extreme stress and suggestion, can literally invent a past to reconcile with present pressure. But beyond coercion, the advent of more sophisticated psychological techniques began to blur the line between suggestion and outright implantation. One of the most infamous examples is the Lost in the Mall study by Loftus and Jacqueline Pickrell. Participants were given stories from their childhood, some true, others containing a fabricated event where they were lost in a shopping mall. Surprisingly, a significant percentage of participants not only recalled the false event, but also embellished it with vivid details that felt entirely personal and authentic to them. They could describe the exact store, the feeling of panic, even the clothes they were wearing, all for an event that never occurred. This wasn't just a misremembered detail, it was an entire emotional narrative seamlessly inserted into their personal history. The ethical fallout from such studies was intense, raising alarms about the dangers of unchecked memory manipulation. Imagine the power a therapist might wield, or an interrogator, if they could so easily weave an entire, non-existent experience into a person's past. The disturbing element intensified with the understanding of misinformation effect. That exposure to incorrect information after an event can impair or distort memories for the original event. This demonstrated how easily external inputs could subtly corrupt genuine recollections, making individuals vulnerable to having their own histories rewritten by suggestion. As technology advanced, the whispers of even more precise methods began to emerge. Targeted suggestion through subliminal messaging, the use of virtual reality to create immersive yet entirely artificial experiences that participants integrate as real memories. These aren't just minor alterations. We're talking about the potential to architect entire foundational memories, complete with emotional resonance and sensory details, making them indistinguishable from lived experience. The implication is terrifying. If a memory can be so perfectly constructed, so deeply embedded, who's to say what we remember is truly our own? What they discovered next changed everything. The chilling culmination of this research isn't just about accidental distortions or even therapeutic suggestion. It's about the deliberate, malicious creation of comforting lies that serve a far more sinister purpose. Imagine a world where not only can false memories be implanted with frightening ease, but they are specifically designed to be comforting. A memory of a loving parent who was, in reality, abusive. A recollection of a heroic act you performed, covering up a moment of cowardice. A deep-seated conviction of belonging to a community that has, in fact, ostracized you. These aren't merely neutral fabrications. They are bespoke psychological constructs designed to maintain a particular emotional state, perpetuate a specific narrative, or exert subtle control. Consider the individual who, after suffering a profound trauma, is offered a memory therapy that replaces the horrific event with a peaceful, idyllic one. On the surface, it seems beneficial, a way to heal. But what if this healing is a meticulously engineered illusion, rendering the individual incapable of processing genuine grief, or worse, unable to identify their abuser? What if they are denied the truth of their own experience, forced to live a lie that feels truer than their actual past? The psychological toll of living such a curated existence would be immense, eroding genuine identity. Their reactions, their choices, even their personality would be shaped by a foundation that is entirely artificial. Then there's the broader, more terrifying scenario. Imagine a totalitarian regime or a powerful corporate entity with the means to implant these comforting lies on a mass scale. Historical revisionism becomes effortless. Inconvenient truths are simply wiped away, replaced by narratives that engender obedience, loyalty, or consumerism. Citizens remember an economic boom during a recession, remember benevolent leaders during periods of brutal suppression, remember a product bringing them immense joy. The comfort in these lies becomes a gilded cage, trapping entire populations in a manufactured reality, their collective identity rewritten for the benefit of those in power. This isn't just about individual deception, it's about the systemic dismantling of shared truth, replacing it with a consensus of fabricated contentment. The scariest part isn't the technology, but the motive, to control by crafting a reality so palatable, so comforting, that no one would ever question its veracity, even as their very sense of self unravels. To this day, we may never fully grasp the true extent to which our memories, and therefore our personal truths, can be manipulated. The comforting lie that shouldn't exist forces us to confront a deeply unsettling reality. If our past can be so easily rewritten, then what does that say about our present? And more chillingly, what does it say about our future? The fragility of memory, once seen as a fascinating psychological quirk, reveals itself as a profound vulnerability, a gateway for others to implant narratives, emotions, and even entire identities into our minds. We are left to wonder daily how much of what we hold dear, our recollections of triumph, our moments of solace, our very self-conception, is truly ours. Are we the authors of our own stories, or merely the recipients of expertly crafted fiction? The line between reality and fabrication blurs, leaving us in a disquieting liminal space where the comforting lie feels indistinguishable from the truth, and the unsettling questions linger. Can we ever truly trust our own minds again? And what if right now, somewhere out there, a memory is being carefully constructed just for you, waiting to be uploaded, ready to make you comfortably, unknowingly someone else?